Joining us now on the Megacast is one of over 300 charities and nonprofits supported on the Share Detroit platform. Katelyn Abell is one of the co-executive directors of the Stronger Warrior Foundation and joins us now on the Megacast. Katelyn, thanks for being with us today.
Hi, thank you so much for having me.
Yeah, glad to have you on to talk to you about this organization doing great work in our local area. Tell us a little bit about the background of the Stronger Warrior Foundation and some of the things that you do to help people right here in our local area.
Yeah, so our mission at the Stronger Warrior Foundation is to help active and retired military members, and we do this with two different programs. We have our Mission Resupply program, which is targeted at sending care packages overseas to deployed soldiers. And then we also have our Adaptive Warrior program, which will go in and do house modifications for disabled vets through that program.
And so go into more detail about some of these programs and how these veterans are able to get access to these programs and those active duty military members too and their families, because these are highly impactful for them as they're coming back into civilian life by choice or by circumstance, and certainly for their families too, who are heavily impacted when a member of their family is either overseas on deployment or certainly as they're coming back into civilian life.
Yeah, absolutely. So that's kind of why we founded the organization. So my brother Brian Abel and myself founded the organization in 2019. He's actually active in the military. He's deployed right now over in Syria. So seeing firsthand what the soldiers go through overseas and kind of being secluded away from their families, that's really why we put together the Mission Resupply program, because that will help, kind of help those people out there, making them feel like they're not alone when they're overseas, because a complete stranger can decorate a crate and write letters and send a video and package it for them. And it's really a great keepsake for the soldiers overseas to get. And then obviously, we wanted to also help veterans who have been overseas and served. If they get injured, where our adaptive warrior program comes in is they get injured when they're not in service, the VA won't give them as much funding. So that's where we'll come in with our grants up to $6,000 to help do those house modifications that they might need done.
StrongerWarriorFoundation.org is their website. You can also find them on ShareDetroit.org by searching in their Find a Nonprofit section for Stronger Warrior Foundation. And you mentioned your brother, the co-executive director, Brian Abel, who is currently deployed, you said, in Syria. Knowing the way him having this experience as being active duty military and knowing the impact that some of these different programs can have on the military, from your conversations with your brother and from others that are serving our nation at this time around the world, just how much of a difference does this make in their morale, but also just their ability to be motivated day by day, knowing that people back home are really giving them this support as they're fighting for our country?
Yeah, that's one of the reasons why we want to do it, because it is making a huge difference in their lives. We've actually received feedback. We'll get pictures sometimes from the soldiers that get their crates. I actually can show an example of
Sure.
one of the crates. This is the first ever crate that was created, so you can kind of see it's very personalized. It's an individual crate, and a little girl and little boy actually decorated this crate. Here's kind of a picture of them, and they can put the picture, and they wrote a letter as well. And then we'll package it with different, like, kind of toiletry items. Obviously, wipes are kind of a huge thing over there. And then we put a really cool workout shirt in there as well, and different food and toiletry items. So, not only is it a bunch of items that they get that they can use over there, but they like this because they know that a complete stranger took the time to decorate it and to kind of personalize it for them. So they'll keep this, and it will always be a keepsake for them. They'll put kind of their own storage units in here. So they love the crates. We've gotten messages telling us thank you. This really made a difference for me and put a smile on my face. And at the end of the day, that's really what we're trying to do, because I know firsthand from my brother being gone how hard it is, for us, but for him as well. So, if we can kind of bring a smile to their faces and make them kind of feel a little bit more of home with them, that's what we're really trying to do.
And it's no secret either, Katelyn, that when those that are in the military come back home, especially if they're coming back home due to injury and their life has been forever change, that those supports are not always there in place, or not always effective enough from the U.S. government, from the military branches themselves. And so these supports from our communities are vital in many cases for these soldiers, for these veterans to come back home and live with as high of quality of life as they deserve after serving our country. So how do you help to facilitate this? What sort of community support and support from other organizations goes into particularly those home modifications that often are the difference between a soldier being able to come back and live comfortably in their own home, or really struggling to get back to normal life?
Yeah, absolutely. So we actually collect applications through our website. You had mentioned it earlier at thestrongerwarriorfoundation.org. So we're always looking for, we kind of reach out to VAs and different organizations to look for applicants. We encourage anyone that is a U.S. veteran to submit an application if they need help or they need a house modification or repair. We go through the applications and last year we did 6 home modifications, and every year we look to do more. We've actually partnered with the Habitat for Humanity here in Michigan. So if they have a project and they have a candidate that's a veteran and they need kind of funds, we'll partner together and make a difference for that veteran together. So that's kind of a big partner of ours right now as well. But we're always looking for candidates, and we're trying to raise awareness. And you would think it would be easy to find candidates, but sometimes it is challenging. So sometimes we actually have to actively look for candidates. We've done a couple of partnerships with the Detroit Pistons and the Detroit Lions. They've both sponsored a house modification, which was great, and they actually helped us connect with the candidate for those projects. So always looking to raise more awareness and trying to help as many people as we can. That's our mission, and that's what we really want to do.
And there's so many different ways too that individuals can participate, whether they're making a crate themselves or sponsoring a crate kit, or other ways for people to get involved. Another way that people can participate is through Operation McVicker. Can you tell us about that ongoing project and how people can participate?
Yeah, so we put Operation McVicker together. So that is actually our first ever adaptive warrior candidate. His name was Cannon McVicker, and we went in and we did a whole remodel for his bathroom. He actually is paralyzed from the neck down, and so he cannot, take a normal shower, bath. So we went in and repaired and put ramps in order for him to do this daily. And so he was our first ever candidate, and we do that fundraiser through him. So part of the proceeds will go through kind of different modifications if he needs more home modifications, and then we put the rest of the funds to our Adaptive Warrior program. And this is a fundraiser. So for runners. I know a lot of people like to run, but it's basically a virtual run that we do usually in the fall. So we'll probably do it again in 2023 in the fall. And, we put it out there so anyone in the US can participate. And it's just based off of, running. So they can kind of say, I want to do 10 miles this month. And then they set a goal and then they share it with friends and family and try to fundraise and advertise for us. We did it. It's been a huge success. The first year we did it, we raised over $5,000, which was huge and great because, like I said, the funds went towards putting an additional ramp into Cannon McVicker's home. And then also it goes towards other adaptive warrior projects we can do in the future. So yeah, look for more information on that. It will probably be coming in the fall. If anyone is an active runner, I know it's a huge hobby and people love to do that. So not only can they do their hobby, but they can also, help raise funds for a great cause as well.
More information can be found on strongerwarriorfoundation.org or by visiting Share Detroit's website, sharedetroit.org. We can learn more about the Stronger Warrior Foundation as well as over 330 other charities and nonprofits across the Metro Detroit area. Joining us on the program is Katelyn Abell, co-executive director of the Stronger Warrior Foundation on today's Megacast. Katelyn, about another minute or so left before we'll need to wrap things up today. And I want to end by asking, for those that aren't in military families or have people that they know and they're constantly communicating with that have served our country, what do you and your brother and others in these sorts of capacities wish that the general public knew more about the life of an active duty military member and their family and the support that they really need from communities like this?
Yeah, I think that the more awareness we can raise about our military families and kind of what they go through, that's what we're looking to do with our two programs. We're always trying to get people involved in our mission resupply program, whether you have a school class or you're a corporate business, anyone can get involved and really make a difference in the lives of our soldiers that are deployed. I think it's great. We've done a lot of events with schools, and it's great to kind of impact our young students and community members and really make them feel involved and like they're giving back to the community at such a young age. But then, even our older community and our adults, they love getting involved as well. So there's something with our programs for everyone, whether you're young, whether you're older, whether you have different hobbies, you just want to do a create and get creative. You don't have to be a military family or have someone in the military to feel like you're making a difference. Everyone just loves to give back, and I think that that's really what we try to do with our two programs is give back and get the community involved to help give back as well. I really stress being, so involved in the military. I think it's great. There's so many other organizations as well that support the military, and we'll sometimes partner with them as well. But I think our community really loves the military and they love to give back as well. So I appreciate all the support from all of our, we have so many great sponsors and so many great volunteers, and it means the world to me. And I know it means the world to my brother and all of our soldiers and veterans that are out there for the community to come together and give back to them.
More information, strongerwarriorfoundation.org. Caitlin, thank you so much for joining us.
Yes, thank you so much for having me.